Hey guys, it's me again and welcome to another video. So today I will be talking about all my book hobbies from all the books that I have read throughout the 2018. I don't know if there's already a book tag that exists like this one, but this is my own version of it, and let's get right into it. So in this video, I will be listing down all my book hobbies, bookish boyfriends, or whatever you want to call them, but they're my hobbies and they're the perfect knight in shining armor for me. So the list is not in order, so they might be interchanged. And so the first guy on my list, and probably on the top one of my list, is of course Prince Rowan Whitehorn. If you have seen my previous videos, I have shared a lot of times how much I love Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass series. So this version of Rowan is probably one of my favorite, and when I googled Rowan Whitehorn's image, and this was the picture that was also in Wikia fandom or Wiki fandom, and this was the image that I've always dreamed of Rowan, and this is the work of Merwild. I will link her Instagram and all of the links for the fan arts and stuff right down below, and you can visit their sites. These are their works, not mine, and I'm not claiming any property or whatever on these arts. And yeah, so the next one is probably the most oldest one except for Rowan, based on appearance alone. He's 37 years old on the book, and in his present appearance he looks like 37, but he's actually way much more older than 37. And I am talking about Matthew de Clairmont, but from the All Souls trilogy by Deborah Harkness. See, Matthew Clairmont is played by Matthew Good, something like that. His name is pronounced like that. I'm still quite confused about how to say his name, but yeah, his name it's right here. Matthew has a lot of names, so I'm just gonna read it. So Matthew, Gabriel, Philippe, Bertrand, Sebastian, de Clairmont. I was just reading the book, I would always say Felipe, but then when I watched the series version, it says Philippe, so kind of changed Philippe from Felipe to Philippe. So Matthew is French. I don't just like him because he's a vampire, but he's also very smart and is like super rich. And I always kind of envy how much he loves his wife, how much his love for his wife, for his mom, and how much respect he has for his dad, Philippe, and I've always loved that. So the next on my list is Kerrick of Alga in the Healers series by Maria V. Snyder. I have tried looking for a fan art of Kerrick, but I could not see it anywhere. So if you know something, you can comment down below so I can check them out. What I like about Kerrick is that Kerrick is loyal to his friend, especially the prince, who, if I will not spoil, but especially to the prince that he grew up with, very loyal to him. And even though he's very like rough around the edges and he's very rude to others, and a lot of people kind of like didn't like Kerrick to be the love interest for the main character, because Kerrick had one instance, just once, kind of lifted his hands on her, and it just left a bad taste on the other readers, and kind of complained why Kerrick is the main love interest. And then there are other characters that would have been perfect for her, but I think Kerrick had always been perfect for her, and their journey and their challenges and struggles together kind of what made them perfect for each other. So that's why I kind of like Kerrick, because of his loyalty and his love for her and his friends and his kingdom. Next on my list is Prince Poe, or Prince Greening Grandemalion. I can't pronounce his last name, but just Poe, from the Graceling series of Kristen Cashore. So Poe is the seventh son of King Roar and Queen, I forgot her name, Queen Zenobert of Lineage. I don't remember if I have seen a fan art of Poe, and I've been trying to look for it, but I couldn't look for one. So yeah, if you know something, you can comment down below. What I liked about Poe is his loyalty to his family. He loves his family dearly, and it's one of the reasons why he met Katsa, because he wanted to rescue his grandfather. And another is his grace. At the early parts of the book, it was known that Poe's grace is actually hand fighting, but in reality, Poe's grace is not hand fighting, but rather perception. Poe is able to sense the world around him and sometimes the thoughts of others if those thoughts are direct to him. So another person on my list is like Kerrick, who's rough around the edges, is Cole Stewart of the Darkest Minds trilogy. So Cole is 21 years old and is dubbed as Prisoner 27. He first appears at the second book of the Darkest Minds trilogy, which is the Never Fade. Yep, Never Fade. And he was actually mentioned on the first book, but he officially appeared on the second book. Not to spoil you, but Cole is one of the surviving kids who has physical abilities. It's one of the reasons why he is like so likable for me. I've always kind of like have a soft spot for guys who's like, you know, rough around the edges and who needs a little bit more help than others. Since there are no fan arts for Cole Stewart that I actually liked, and they had not casted the Cole Stewart role for the movie because they have not yet decided to film one. So I just kind of imagined on my own, and this is the person that I want as Cole Stewart, and his name is Luke Williams, and he played as Lincoln at the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and he was on, I think, on the second season, third season. I kind of like forgot, but yeah, he's like on the second, third season, and his name is Lincoln, and he's one of the like the gifted person, or like literally he was gifted with the gifts that he has. So next on the list is from a book that I have just finished, and it's from the Strange Redeemer by Renee Taylor, and of course it's Lazlo Strange. So what I liked about Lazlo is that he's not like your typical Knight of Shining Armor, because he's not like the gritty type or the very self-confident type of guy who would usually be the hero or be the Knight in Shining Armor or the prince. But he is perfect the way he is. He's a dreamer, and his imagination is kind of a lot like similar to mine, if I do say so myself. One of the reasons why I like Lazlo is he's not just book smart, but because he is this type of person that would love to dream about worlds that is not on their own, and I'm kind of like that. So that's why one of the reasons why I love Lazlo Strange, and I actually have imagined myself being with Lazlo Strange. I think that's weird, but yeah, I really love Lazlo Strange, and the person that I would love to play for Lazlo Strange is the very wonderful and the very gorgeous and very wonderful Noah Centineo. I have not found a Lazlo Strange fan art that I loved, so I'd rather imagine a Noah Centineo version of Lazlo Strange. The image that I have on Lazlo Strange is a lot similar to Noah, and so yeah, he would be perfect for Lazlo Strange. So next on the list is Hardin Scott from the After series by Anna Todd. As you may have noticed, I do have a soft spot for guys who's rough on the edges, and Hardin Scott is like literally rough. Hardin Scott is sarcastic, he's rude, he's egotistical, he's literally like your 21st century asshole. But what I like about Hardin Scott is that even though he's like this very rough kind of person, he's very mean and everything, but he still has a heart of gold. And how much, not heart of gold for everybody, but for just one person, and it's Tessa. And I kind of always envy Tessa for having a person like Hardin. Although it's a very toxic relationship, I still love the way Hardin loves Tessa. So another on my list is Daniel Grigory from the Fallen series. I've gotten into the series because I unintentionally watched the Fallen movie in the cinemas, and I kind of loved the premise of the story but was dissatisfied with the movie, so I just decided to pick up the book and just read it. So the reading part was actually kind of late because I have watched the movie like a year ago or 2 years ago. As soon as it got out, I watched it on the cinemas, but then I didn't have the time, and I have just finished the entire series like a couple of months ago. Daniel's age is unknown because he is sort of a fallen angel, so they're not really counting how much they owe. In the Fallen movie, Daniel Grigory is played by actor Jeremy Irvin. So one of the reasons why I really love Daniel Grigory is his devotion to the one girl that he loves. I can't fathom the pain or even imagine the heartaches or the pain that Daniel Grigory kind of goes through every single time the love of his life kind of resurrects and just dies with just a single touch or a single look or just a single word. It's very heartbreaking when she kind of like time traveled to the past and she saw how much the pain Daniel kind of like went through every single time that she dies. I kind of like always envied the love that she gets from Daniel, and Daniel kind of like devoted his life, his world for her. And one of the reasons that I really love Daniel is that he was willing to give up being an angel just to be with a girl that he loves. And giving up something that is part of you, giving up yourself for that person, is kind of like really hard thing to do. And to give up that kind of like, to give up something that is so big in you, or you to give up you for that person that you love, is like showing like shouting in the rooftop, more than shouting in the rooftop actually, like yelling at the moon or stealing the moon kind of love. And so we are down to the last two guys, and the second to the last guy is Magnus Damora from the Fallen Kingdom series by Morgan Rhodes. I did not see a lot of Magnus Damora fan arts because I don't think Fallen Kingdom is like really big, popularly known to a lot of people, but it's still popular. So at the beginning of the series, I kind of didn't like Magnus because he was this sarcastic, this very conflicted person, and he fell in love with his sister. Who does that? So yeah, I wasn't really into Magnus, but then as the time goes on, close to the ending of the series, he kind of like from conflicted to a very charming kind of guy. Well, my version of charming actually. So one of the things that is very confusing with Magnus is that he is very loyal to his father, but at the same time he hates his dad. So it's confusing at times, but at the end of the story, he still chose what is the right thing to do, and he chose his love and his people. So Marcus is this sarcastic, arrogant guy because he did kind of live a very lavish life, lavish as any Limerus royalty can get, since his dad was kind of like very tyrant. So yeah, so we're down to the very last bookish hubby that I have. He's the second bookish husband that is actually from a contemporary series, and of course he's Peter Kavinsky from To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. No, but I just kind of noticed that most of the guys that are kind of like very arrogant, like rough around the edges, but they have like this very big heart and they're like softy on the inside. Although Peter Kavinsky is not like rough around the edges, but he's more like the very social, he's very confident with himself, and he always carries himself as someone who is good at everything. And although when you read the entire series of All the Boys I've Loved Before, there were times that Noah kind of like showed his like vulnerable side, and that's what I love about Noah, is that he's very confident person, but he's still kind of like shows his vulnerable side. The reasons that I love him is because of his love for Larry Sheen, and their love story kind of like It's like 21st century meets the 80s, 90s kind of theme, or the early 2000s, and it just like transcend into this millennial kind of version, and I love that. It's bringing a lot of the old type of love stories that I have loved when I was growing up. It has like this nostalgic aspect for me, so that's one of the reasons why I loved All the Boys I've Loved Before. And I really love Peter Kavinsky, and I loved that Noah Centineo kind of played the role for Peter Kavinsky. And I've seen Noah actually on the still on a Netflix movie called Sierra Burgess is a Loser, and he's great there, but I think I love him better as Peter Kavinsky. So there you go, they are my bookish husbands. One of the reasons that I really love these guys is because of how much they showed their love for their counterpart, their love interest, the girls that they were destined to love. They have showed great devotion, they have sacrificed a lot, and they have given everything that they have for these girls, and I kind of envied those girls, and every time I read them, I kind of like put myself on the shoes of these women and just envy the love and the care from these guys. I hope that you also have the guys just like I have mine. And if you are guys, I hope you have girls that you like in the bookish world. Anyway, I think it's pretty normal as a bookish person to have like a bias or someone that you love from the book that you're reading, and these people, the person that you love on these books is actually like the icing on the cake or the ribbon on top of the gift. They're like these bonuses from reading these wonderful books, and they kind of like made my day, and I hope that your favorite characters made your day as well. These are all my lists, and I will see you on the next video. For more videos, you can click the subscription button below. Don't forget to click the bell sign if you want notifications, and you can like the video if you like the video, and you can leave your recommendations, the links for the fan arts that you want to show me, you want to share to me, or you can just say anything at all. Anyway, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.